My name is Beth Kaysen, and I am a head of adult services, and part of my job also is to order books for the collection. So I have ordered some books, and they have come in, and I have a nice, pretty box that I'm going to unbox for you to show you what I've ordered. I'm not sure if you've watched the other episodes of this, book talks or anything, is if you find anything that you want to read while we're discussing this, you can call us at 256-237-8501 extension 2 to ask for you to be put on hold for it. You can email us at books@publiclibrary.cc. You can actually even text us, but I don't have a text number handy right now because I never can remember it. Or you can actually just log into your account in a couple of days once I've got these cataloged, and you can put a hold on it yourself through your account. So I guess without much further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and open the box and see what we got. Let's hope that it is the box I think it's supposed to be, because if not, we might be looking at children's books instead. Let's see what we got. Box. No, it is adult books. Yay. Yay. I love adult fiction books because they're just so much fun. And I have quite a few in here that we get to talk about, because these, instead of like our standing author books like I did the other unboxing with, which all you do is you pick out authors you want on a list, and every time they publish you get the books. These, you go through review magazines and you read reviews and you see blurbs about them and you decide you're going to order them for the collection. We also get books for the collection because people have requested some. So if in the past you've requested some books and we fulfill that request, this is how we do it. So the first one I'm going to talk about is The Woman in the Mirror. Oh, you can't hardly see that. But it's The Woman in the Mirror by Rebecca James. And I picked this one because it calls it a chilling modern Gothic novel about a family consumed by the shadows and secrets of its past. It was compared very favorably to like Rebecca and Jane Eyre and ones like that, and which is always a good thing. Anything that has to do with family secrets in an isolated castle on the edge of the moors, that's always a great story. So this one is called The Woman in the Mirror, and it's by Rebecca James. It's a modern Gothic tale about family and secrets and all that good stuff. So if you would like to read this, make sure you let us know, and we'll put you on hold for it. Not unless I get it first. The next one, a lot of interesting blurbs about this one. You can't really see it because it's not coming through on the screen. It's called The Ancestor by Danielle Trussoni. I read quite a few reviews about it in some book clubs if they've read it, and it's a book that, how am I going to explain it? It was another very similar Gothic tale, but in this one I'll just read the first little blurb about it. It says, "It feels like a fairy tale when Alberta Monte receives a letter addressed to Countess Alberta Montebianco that claims she's inherited a noble title and a castle in Italy." Okay, now there you go. Who is not going to be interested in some plain little Miss Jane gets a letter that she is now a countess and has inherited a title and a castle in Italy? So she goes there and she finds out about her family history. And that's where the title comes into it, called The Ancestor. So it's by Danielle Trussoni. And if you're looking for another kind of interesting family connection, dynamic book as to how she becomes this countess, then I suggest you read The Ancestor, Danielle Trussoni. Okie dokie, what do we got? Oh, this one is The Secrets We Kept by Laura Prescott. This was actually one that was suggested by a patron, so we ordered it. It is set in, I believe it's World War II or past World War II, maybe just after that. It has to do with these two women, Sally and Irina. They're two secretaries in the CIA's typing pool who became spies at the height of the Cold War. So it's post-World War II, during the Cold War, and it says that their ability to keep secrets catapults them into a world of danger, love, and international espionage. And Olga, Boris Pasternak's mistress and muse, who was sent to the Gulag for refusing to divulge the plot of his novel, Dr. Zhivago, to Soviet agents, and who remained his mistress until the day he died. So it has to do with Boris Pasternak, Dr. Zhivago, apparently being some kind of a subversive novel, and these two women who become CIA spies in the height of the Cold War. So very John le Carré-ish, if that's your forte. Okay, this one, Undercover Bromance. Now, I think in another previous episode, I talked about the Bromance Romance Club. Yeah, the Bromance Book Club. This is the second one in the series by Lyssa K. Adams. And if you don't know the premise of this series, it's men who have joined this romance book club in order to get closer to the women they love, because they want to find out what their wives, girlfriends really want from them. And this one is about, and I think most of these guys are like, the other one, he was a baseball player or a football player, but I'm not sure what he had. Oh, this one, something to do with, he's a nightclub entrepreneur, so he's not in the sports thing. But he still wants to know, he says, Braden Mack thinks reading romance novels makes him an expert in love, but he'll soon discover that real life is better than fiction. So if you're looking for a good romance, this is it, The Undercover Bromance by Lyssa K. Adams. If you haven't read the first one, we do have it. It's the Bromance Book Club. So we do have that on the shelf. Okay, Revolver Road by Christy Daugherty. I believe this is the third in a series that features Harper McLean. And I have not read the series, but I have it on good authority that this is a very good series, suspense-filled. And one of the patrons who told me about it said that it was also not filled with extraneous sex, violence, and language. Sometimes that can be overpowering in some of the books, but it's just telling a good story. And in this one, it says, crime reporter Harper McLean is back on the beat when a troubled musician vanishes. So she is in Savannah, Georgia, which is really nice. So if you're interested in reading the books by Christy Daugherty, there's two others, The Echo Killing and A Beautiful Corpse, and I know we do have those. So the new one by her is called Revolver Road, and it features a crime reporter, Harper McLean. Okay, what have I got? Oh, this got a lot of, the book of Lost Friends by Lisa Wingate. A lot of attention was given to this book. And she's the author of Before We Were Yours, which also garnered a lot of acclaim from different critics and such as that. In this particular one, it says it tells the dramatic story of three young women searching for family amid the destruction of post-Civil War South, and a modern-day teacher who learns of their story and its vital connection to her students' lives. So this is first set in Louisiana in 1875 during Reconstruction, and there's three women, Hanny, which is a freed slave, Lavinia, the heir to a now destitute plantation, and Juno Jane, Lavinia's Creole half-sister. So they wind their way to Texas looking for a new start, and then it jumps forward to Louisiana in 1987, where this teacher finds out about their story. So if you're looking for a multi-generational, multi-time period book, and this would be one for you, Lisa Wingate, The Book of Lost Friends. And it's also said it's a New York Times best-selling author. So she's gotten a lot of critical acclaim for her books. So if you're looking for a good story, that would be good for you. Okay. First of all, I love the title of this one by Dorinda Jones, A Bad Day for Sunshine. I don't know if there's ever a bad day for sunshine, but apparently in this one it is. And I mean, look at the cover. Isn't that cool, the sunglasses and stuff? So I know you're not supposed to judge a book by a cover, but however, I just didn't pick it for the cover. I picked it because it was also another mystery, and this is going to be a series, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get the rest of them. And this is a brand new series starring a sassy, tough as nails or tough as stilettos sheriff named Sunshine, and it's set in Del Sol, New Mexico. And it says that Del Sol, New Mexico is known for three things. It's fried egg on the cement summers, strong cups of coffee, and a nationwide manhunt. So she is Sunshine Vikram, who is now a sheriff, And so she gets involved with this manhunt. And it just follows that, and then the mystery that ensues from that. So it just looked like a very funny kind of, they called it wickedly funny. So if you're looking for I don't say a lighthearted, because I don't think it's a lighthearted read, but if you're looking for something that's going to make you laugh, but also with a good story behind it, then you might want to pick up Dorinda Jones's A Bad Day for Sunshine. I'd like to read it myself to see exactly how. She sounds like she's it says a sassy new heroine. We all could use some sass in our lives. Okay, this one, You Deserve Each Other. How many times have we told people that? Because they're just mean to each other, mean to other people, so y'all belong to each other. So, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. This is a romance. It says, when your nemesis also happens to be your fiancé, happily ever after becomes a lot more complicated in this wickedly funny lovers to enemies to lovers romantic comedy debut. So that's something fun to look forward to. I mean, I think lovers to enemies to lovers is kind of funny because you wonder how they work through all those problems. But this is about Naomi and I don't know what the guy's name is, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, Nicholas. So the title, You Deserve Each Other, it looks like it's going to be a lighthearted romp through romance, but it's going to be a happily ever after. All these always are. Don't want to read a romance that's not a happily ever after. Okay, new one by Cassie Dunn. Can't see it, but it's called Silence on Cold River. And this is, it says 3 people crossed paths in the North Georgia woods one night, setting into motion a race to catch a ruthless and chillingly inventive serial killer. So if you're into serial killer books, this one is your forte because it's set not outside of Atlanta, but North Georgia. And yeah, okay. I was trying to read some of this. But this is, that's what this one is about a serial killer and these 3 people who converge in these woods. So it sounds a bit chilling and a little scary. So if that's what you want to read, we've got it ready for you. So Silence on Cold River. It might be a good book to read right now because it's hot. Maybe it'll make you a little cooler. Okay. Let's see, what have I got? Oh, this is an excellent series. And I have the rest of them in the collection by Julia Spencer Fleming. It's Hid from Our Eyes. This is the Clara Ferguson, Russ Van Alstyne mystery, and it's set up in, it's something funny. Oh, Miller's Kill. I think that's an interesting name for a town, but it's in New York. Miller's Kill, New York, and Russ is the police chief, and Claire is the Episcopal priest. And I would highly recommend you starting from the beginning because there is a developing relationship between the two of them that's all through the book, and the first one will lay the foundation for you so you know who these characters are and why they have come to the point they are. But the mystery is really good because Claire, before she became an Episcopal priest, was, I think, also a Marine. Or she flew Marine choppers in the Marine Corps or something like that. And then she became a priest. And she helps Russ to solve some mysteries. But there's also a lot of personal problems going on with them and the people in the community. So it's not just a simple mystery. There's a lot of background and depth to it. So this is the last one, the newest one. But in the first, I think in the Bleak Midwinter is the first one. And I know we have that in because I just put it in. So I believe we have all of the series if you want to start from the beginning. But this is the newest one called Hid from Our Eyes. Excellent mystery. Very good. Okay, let's see what I've got now. Oh, Christina Lauren, as always, delivers a good romance. And this is the Honey Don't list. If you've ever read, she's also written some other ones. The Unhoneymooners. Let's see what else if it tells me on here. Yeah, Roomies, The Unhoneymooners, Twice in a Blue Moon. She also has the Beautiful series. But this particular one is, it says, a charming love story about what happens when 2 assistants tasked with keeping a rocky relationship from explosion start to feel sparks of their own. So this is, apparently this girl works for remodeling and design gurus Melissa and Rusty Tripp, but they may not be as happy as what they sound like. But then this other guy who is an MIT graduate is working with them too, so they become friends, and apparently they go from friends to a little bit more. So if you're wanting a good romantic romp, then The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren will be right for you. Okay. Ooh, what else have I got? What else have I got? Oh, yeah, I've got a good bit of romances this time, just because I think right now, with everything that's going on, people need a little bit more lighthearted than a bunch of serial killers. But that's my opinion. But I got serial killers too, so if you want that, that's okay. Okay, so Not That Kind of Guy by Andy Christopher. It says an office attraction becomes something more when they're off the clock in this delightful romantic comedy. When I see romantic comedy, I always think of those old movies with, who was it, Myrna Loy and like The Thin Man, and the ones with Carol Lombard and why am I suddenly gone blank? Who's the guy that played Rhett Butler? Clark Gable. And William Powell, Myrna Loy, they did The Thin Man and others. But you always had those kind of madcap. Oh, Jimmy Stewart and Katharine Hepburn, The Philadelphia Story. They always had these madcap romantic comedies, and they just were made just to make you laugh, nothing more. And that's what some of these romances are. They're just a good, easy read to make you laugh, to make you feel better, and that's what they should do. Sometimes a book doesn't necessarily have to always be serious. Sometimes you can have a funny book. And so this is what this one is. It's a delightful romantic comedy. So if you're interested in this one, It's Not That Kind of Guy by Andy Christopher. And remember, any of these books that you happen to see here, if you want any of them, you can just call us. You can text us. Is the number going to be running on the screen of this thing? Okay, sorry. The text number, I'm not sure exactly what that is. But, so don't text us then. Call us or email us, or you can go in through your account and you can put them on hold. But if you call or email, we'll be glad to put them on hold for you. Or you can also, let's go on Facebook. You can do a private Facebook message too, can't you? You can do a private Facebook message if you want that too, because that can do the same thing. So, but just call. That's just the easiest thing to do. Okay, this is an old veteran of the fiction wars, I would say, is Gail Godwin. She has been writing forever. And some of her, one of her first books came out in 1970, The Perfectionist. But she did the Finishing School, A Southern Family, Father Melancholy's Daughter, Evensong. So this particular one is Old Love Good Girls. It's about a college. It's called Lovegood Junior College for Girls. And it's about these two girls, Farron Hood and Mary Jellicoe, who become roommates in 1958. It says when the dean of this college puts them as roommates, she said she has no way of knowing the far-reaching consequences of the match. So Farron, who narrowly escaped from a dark past, instantly takes to Mary and her composed personality. So this is about these two girls who go to school together. Their friendship lasts, and they call it a complex friendship that spans decades. So luminous and masterfully crafted, Old Love Good Girls is a story of a powerful friendship between talented writers, two college friends who have formed a bond that takes them through decades of a fast-changing world. So if you're looking for a story about two women and a lasting friendship, then this one is for you, Old Love Good Girls. And Gail Godwin writes a very good book. She has beautiful language in her book. So this would be a nice one to read this weekend. Okay, Candace Fox. She has a series called A Crimson Lake Mysteries. I don't know if she actually started out with James Patterson, or I know she has written with James Patterson, and all their novels are like double words, like 50-50, hush hush, and things like that. And they're set in Australia, and this one is also set in Australia. Is she an Australian author? She lives in Sydney, so yes, she is an Australian author. This particular one, this is the third one in this Crimson Lake series, and starts by Crimson Lake, Redemption Point, and Gone by Midnight. And it has to do with a man who is a police inspector who leaves, I'm not sure if it's Melbourne, Sydney, and goes to this small town of, disgraced cop Ted Concaffey. And he's a disgraced cop. And then he hooks up with this convicted killer who's a PI, Amanda Farrell. Don't know the whole story there. So I think you need to really start with Crimson Lake so you'll know the whole backstory about them. But they go to this place which is like it's a crocodile-infested town. This Crimson Lake is where people with dark pasts come to disappear and where others vanish into thin air. So the new one in the Crimson Lake series is Gone by Midnight, but I would highly recommend you start with the first one in the series, which is Crimson Lake. And yes, I do have those. I have them in book form, and I believe I also have them in audio. And if you're interested in any of the other stuff, like I said, she writes with James Patterson under a whole series there, Never Never, 50-50, Liar Liar, and The End. Okay, what have I got now? Oh, yes, this is a lovely series, Girl Waits with Gun. This is a series by Amy Stewart. It's called the Cop Sister series, and it's based on real-life female police officers in Chicago, I believe. And let's see. I'm trying to remember if this is the first one in this series. Yeah, which began with Girl Waits with Gun. And then we have the others in the series. I believe it's Lady Cop Makes Trouble, Miss Cop's Midnight Confessions, and Miss Cop Just Won't Quit. It says, when Constance Cop and her sisters suffer a run-in with a ruthless, powerful crook, Constance leaves her quiet country life to team up with the local sheriff and exact justice. As a war of bricks, bullets, and threats ensues, Constance realizes that this racketeer's history may have been more damning than she thought, and now she's on the case. He won't get away. So this is actually based on, our nation's first female crime fighters, these pair of sisters, and they join the sheriff's department to become the first female deputies, and they are very tough. So if you're looking for a book with a strong female protagonist in it, I would suggest Amy Stewart's series, The Cop Sisters, Girl Waits with Gun. This is the first one in the series, and I've ordered this because I had the others, but I didn't have the first. So start with this one, and then you could read the others. Okay, just a few more. The Second House by Christina Clancy, and this is one of those set on Cape Cod, and this is about another family dynamic thing. I'm trying to remember exactly. This tells a story between the shifting perspectives of Anne, Poppy, and Michael, which are the main protagonists. This affecting debut captures the ache of nostalgia for summers past and the powerful draw of the places we return to again and again. It's about second homes, second families, and second chances. So it calls it a tender and compassionate, incisive, and heartbreaking. So if you're looking for something that has to do, again, with families, apparently a heartbreaking and compassionate story, then you want this one, The Second Home by Christina Clancy. Let's see, what else have I got? Oh, no, I have to say, I know why I got this one. I have to remember why I ordered some. This is part of a series that we have the others, but isn't that cover pretty? Look at that cake. It says The Ingredients of You and Me by Nina Boshi. This is part of a series that, the Hopeless Romantic series. And the first one was on the corner of Love and Hate, and then Meet Me on Love Lane. So this is the third one, The Ingredients of You and Me. So I got that so we could round out the series. I really hate having a series in the collection that you don't have the whole thing. Sometimes it's unavoidable because they just don't publish the books anymore or whatever. But if I can, I try to get them so you could have the whole thing to go through. And this is about the story about a baker who takes her chances on a new town and an old love. So that's why the cake's on the front. I like to read stuff about bakers because it makes me want to bake, but I never end up doing it. So if you want to read the Hopeless Romantic series, this is the third one, The Ingredients of You and Me. The first one is On the Corner of Love and Hate by Nina Boshi. Oh, this one, The Sunday Girl's been getting a lot of acclaim, a lot of attention, a lot of chatter about it. It calls it, this one person says, addictive, clever, and brilliantly written. I'm not really a fan of the cover. That just kind of bothers me on those lines, but that's, hey. But this is, it says, Taylor Bishop's boyfriend betrays her. She refuses to wallow in sadness. She won't let him get away with it. She may be brokenhearted, but she's also bent on revenge. So it's going to be a revenge. Oh, and she consults the art of war, concocting a plan to make him feel her pain. So it says that she doesn't know the enemy as well as she thinks she does, and once she's begun this fight, she can't go back. And then it says, one step too far will change her life forever. So it looks like it's a revenge novel that goes wrong. So I'm not sure. When it says on the back, when love goes wrong, can revenge make things right? So if you're looking for a good revenge novel, then you want to check out The Sunday Wife by Pip Drysdale. Ooh, kind of scary. Okay, what have I got? Oh, this is a fantasy novel. She writes a lot of others, but this was a standalone. A lot of times a fantasy is hard to keep in the collection because they are part of a series, but this one I believe is just a standalone. So if you're looking for a fast-paced adventure and that have you fallen in love with its heroines and the monsters they ride, so if you want a fantasy that will take you on a trip, then you want Race the Sands by Sarah Beth Durst. But this is a standalone, so you don't have to worry about having the whole collection, the whole series to read. And I believe this one is also another fantasy. It's The Gathering of Ravens. This is actually, I think, the first one of the series because I ordered the second one before I ordered this one. So I ordered this one so I'll have both in the series. So it's A Gathering of Ravens by Scott Oden. So if you're looking for a good fantasy, then you want to try this one. Okay, and I have one more. And this one I ordered simply because of the title and who edited it. And, of course, with all the authors in it. It's Alabama Noir by, it's not by anybody. It's actually a collection of short stories by Alabama authors. It is edited by Don Noble. So if you're familiar with Don Noble, he teaches, or he did teach at University of Alabama, but he also does the book notes on PBS. Very instructional and entertaining discussion on books. He interviews authors and reads excerpts from their books, and you can find some really good new authors from his show. And he is so knowledgeable about literature, especially Alabama literature. But this one is short stories written by all Alabama authors, and there's a whole set of these books in an Akashic Noir series. But this one I got, and it gives you a map to show you where all the bodies are going to be for all the stories. Nice. Huh. Oh, Calhoun County didn't make it in here. Oh, well, that's okay, I guess. We don't have any bodies. But you have some of the authors you have in here is Carolyn Haynes from Mobile. Let's see, Winston Groom from Point Clear. Ace Atkins. And, he writes a lot. Tom Franklin. Oh, Tom Franklin. If you haven't read Tom Franklin's books, oh, wow, he does an awesome job. Daniel Wallace, that's Big Fish. D. Winston Brown and Marlon Barton, also very good author. What's that book by, let's see if it tells me. And it gives you a little biographical sketch of each author in the back here. Let me see if I can find that one because that's going to make me... Tom Franklin. Oh, Hell at the Breach. That was an awesome book. It was actually a fictional account of a true story that happened in Clark County. But, oh, man, it was excellent, but did give me nightmares. So if you're looking for a short story, but Alabama authors, edited by Don Noble, then you want Alabama Noir. So I highly encourage everybody to check this out because you can find some new authors this way. Well, that's the end of my box. It's empty. So these are all books that I had chosen for the collection because of reviews or because someone had suggested them. And so if any of these that you would like to have, you can tell us by many means. You can email us at books@publiclibrary.cc. Call us at 256-237-8501 extension 2. You can text us. It's 256-294-4263. Again, you can text us at our number up 256-294-4263 and tell us you want one of these books to be put on hold for you. or once they've been put in the collection, because I'm going to start working on cataloging them today, so hopefully they'll be in by no later than Thursday, then you can actually go into your account, sign in, and put the book on hold through your account. So I hope you enjoyed this, because I love to show all the new books that have come out. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us.